Hi everyone, I'm Michael Uriarty or Dr. Mike, and welcome to Technique Talk, the MYK System, and more. This is episode 28 in our series of comparing and contrasting other techniques with the MYK System. Today, we're going to talk about Onsen Technique. If you want more information on either technique, I have the website links in the description below. If you have not subscribed, be sure and hit the subscribe button. I have a lot more videos coming. Whether you're a patient looking for to get help or a practitioner looking for a good technique to learn, this series is what you need. Let's dive in. Who came up with the Onsen Technique? So Rich Faigh, it's Phaigh. So I'm going with Faigh. So he says, in his early years as a massage therapist, I concentrated my studies on different varieties of deep tissue work coupled with polarity and Swedish massage. They combined to give me clinical results which I felt at the time were extremely effective. From time to time, however, I would encounter tissues which would not release with the techniques I was using. Something was missing. Was the tissue I was attempting to release really tight? They felt tight and seemed to loosen with my efforts, but the changes were often temporary. Why? Because I didn't understand the role structural stress and deviation play in pain production. When structural stress is the source of pain, the only way to alleviate the pain is to correct the structure. Often, pain shows up far away from its cause, and that is why structural analysis is vital. If structure is not corrected and put in balance, every other method of treatment is simply palliative. All right, so just from that, I'm kind of leaning towards, this dude may be leaning towards some chiropractic stuff, because we're like moving the structure around and changing that up. So let's see what he says. So he goes, 19 years of constant study on the subject of soft tissue pain has given me a constantly growing understanding of the subject. There are common threads which run through all patients suffering pain, which I would like to share with you. An understanding of these common threads will help us to set the wheels in motion for a complete and lasting change in the patients we treat. No segment of bodywork has been as exciting and effective in my practice as the restructuring of the human body. Wow. When I entered the field of bodywork 19 years ago, if anyone had told me that I would eventually learn the secrets of realigning twisted and deformed patients, well, right there, I immediately just go to mentally. Are you mentally twisted? Are you mentally deformed? So that's where my mind goes. All right. So I would not have believed them. However, I once learned how simple the procedures were when I put them to use. Patients I had been unable to help with many techniques I learned over the years were called back in for another go-around. The clinical results were amazing. I have combined 3 treatment techniques and their underlying philosophies into treatment protocols I call Onsen. O-N-S-E-N, Onsen. It's a Japanese word meaning at rest or at peace. It is a state of physical, mental, and spiritual tranquility. To me, it means balance. So balance, particularly length, strength, balance, and soft tissues, is our goal. A balanced body does not hurt. I agree with that 100%. If your body is in balance, you probably have zero pain and full range of motion. All right, in this series, I will show you the tests you will need to make an accurate assessment of your patient's structural deviations and functional abnormalities. Then I will demonstrate the proper corrections together with movements and exercises for the patient to do at home in order to maintain. The 3 components of Onsen are muscle energy technique, which I have discovered through research, clinical experience, and trial and error, post-isometric relaxation, and transverse friction massage. So he's combining muscle energy technique, post-isometric relaxation, and transverse friction massage into the Onsen technique. So muscle energy technique is rapidly gaining popularity among osteopathic and chiropractic physicians. Huh. I don't know what muscle energy technique is, so I don't think I've done a talk on muscle energy technique. Maybe I have. I don't know. I got to go back and look at what I've done a talk on, but I don't think I have. So accurate assessment, skeletal repositioning with minimal effort. Okay, well, if you're just doing soft tissue work and you're getting into skeletal repositioning, I'm thinking you may be crossing some boundaries on that. So anyway, simple and painless correction. I don't know anything about the technique, so I'm just saying what I'm reading. I'm just reading it. Provision of long-term relief, a way to address individual spinal segments. Boy, if you're getting into individual spinal segments, you're going past what a massage therapist can do. Anyway, all right, many new corrective techniques in volume 1. I will show you 5 new techniques for the SI joint alone, 6 for the sacrum, and 2 for rotating individual spinal segments. Ooh. Okay. Another beauty of Onsen is that it can be incorporated into your present practice. Most of the clients seeking pain. Okay. That was interesting. Okay, I did not know that Rich had put together this therapy. It's supposedly 3 soft tissue techniques, but there appears to be some spinal manipulation in there, possibly. So if that's the case, that may not be the best, but I'm just saying from a massage therapist standpoint, because then you get into scope of practice, which could get you in trouble. So I'm sure he's figured all that out and is not crossing boundaries or anything like that. So if we go, well, let's go to this. So the myokinesthetic system. I'm a chiropractor. I developed the myokinesthetic system. It is 100% soft tissue work. So we do not move bones. If there's a difference between a misalignment, there's a dislocation, there's a subluxation, and there's a misalignment. So a dislocation, we all know, somebody can dislocate their shoulder, and it just, whonk, it goes out. And then you have to be like, what was the movie? Mel Gibson and I can't think of the name. So I'll put the picture up here when I think of the name. But with Mel Gibson, and then he threw his shoulder out, and then Lethal Weapon. That's it. I knew I'd get it. Lethal Weapon. And then he'd have to go and slam his shoulder against a wall, and he'd put it back in. Yeah, like that would happen that way. That's not how it happens, by the way. So if you do dislocate your shoulder, you don't want to do that. Just a public service announcement. The other way is a subluxation. A subluxation is you can relax a muscle. The bones are out of place. You can relax a muscle, but the bone stays where it's at. It doesn't move. A misalignment, same thing, the bone's out of place and the muscle is tight. You can release the muscle, but the bone goes back in, and you'll hear it pop. Now, if a massage therapist does that, they're always like, that was free, that was on me. If I do that, I'm like, hey, it's an extra $35, right? Give me some money for that adjustment right there. But with a misalignment, you can relax a muscle and the bone will go back in place. With a subluxation, you can relax the muscle, but the bone does not go back in place, and that person needs to have an adjustment. They need to get that bone put back in. So there's a difference there between the 3 types. So I'm a chiropractor. I'm used to working with subluxations, but when I put the myokinesthetic system together, it is 100% soft tissue work. So if someone has a subluxation, we're not going to fix that with the myokinesthetic system because we don't move bones. We just deal with the soft tissue. So that's number 1. So there's a difference, I think, from what I'm reading. There's a difference between the 2 techniques in what we're doing there. So it says Onsen therapy. What are the core principles? So Onsen therapy, also known as the treatment of pain. Oh, look at that. And he says he's trademarked that, the treatment of pain. So nobody else can use the treatment of pain? I think I'm going to have to Google that and see about it. I may have to do a follow-up video on this. Okay, so it focuses on alleviating pain through gentle corrections and detailed assessments. The therapy seems to emphasize muscle memory and aims to provide lasting relief. The mission is to disseminate disseminate the Onsen techniques by training and certifying qualified therapists in the techniques and the higher standards of certification. That's the core principles. So the core principles with us is we're looking at posture. We're going to get into the nervous system with the myokinesthetic system. We're going to get in and specifically try and impact the nervous system, balance the posture, reduce pain, increase range of motion. The patients feel better. Their overall health improves, all that kind of good stuff. But we're getting into the nervous system, and we're using the soft tissue as our vehicle to get into the nervous system. So it says, what is the COTT program? And so COTT stands for Certified Onsen Techniques Therapist, and it's designed for individuals interested in learning and practicing the Onsen muscle therapy to help alleviate pain and others. And it's led by instructors like Rich Faig, the developer of the Onsen muscle therapy. So he says it's the Onsen muscle therapy, but then he talks about moving bones. So I need to get a little more information from this dude. Maybe we can have an interview, me and Rich. I'd like to talk to Rich. We could have a great talk. So, with the myokinesthetic system, we have the upper body class, the lower body class, and then the autonomic nervous system class. I am developing right now as we speak. I'm taking a lot of neurology stuff, and we're developing stuff on the brain. So, I don't know if it's going to be a fourth class. It's looking like it may be a fourth class, but I'm trying to keep it into those 3 courses if we can. So, what is the overarching mission of the Onsen Techniques Therapist? So it says the mission is to alleviate pain in as many people as possible using the technique. Okay, well, that's good. I mean, our mission is to eliminate pain and, restore range of motion and then improve overall health. So that's kind of what we do with the myokinesthetic system. So who developed it? We said Rich Faig. He probably gets some, stuff with his name, just like I do. Michael Uriarte. Okay. So what is the relationship between the Onsen muscle therapy and the treatment of pain? Onsen muscle therapy is known as the treatment of... Well, what was that? That didn't even make sense. All right. What are the 2 levels of certification? 2 levels of certification offered in the Onsen techniques are the Certified Onsen Technique Therapist, the COTT, and the Certified Onsen Technique Therapist Instructor, the COTTI. Okay. Well, with the myokinesthetic system, we just have the CMYK. You're certified in the myokinesthetic system. And I'm the only instructor right now, so I don't have other people going out and teach, not at this time. So right now it's just me. All right, so the main themes for Onsen muscle therapy is to alleviate pain in as many people as possible, which is good. Like I said, our mission statement: eliminate pain, restore function, and then improve overall health. So that's kind of our key thing there. So they have an instructor certification program. So a key element is the certification of therapists and instructors in the Onsen technique. So to perpetuate and disseminate the Onsen techniques by training and certifying qualified therapists in the Onsen techniques to the highest standards of certification. Okay. That's good. That's nice. I certify people so that they can go out and we know that they've had all the classes with me. So if we do a little comparison and contrast here. So we say we have specific techniques that we learn, all going on the nervous system pathways. There's a curriculum. We have the upper body, the lower body, the autonomic nervous system. And because we worked with the University of Idaho in their master's and doctorate program of athletic training, I'm an adjunct instructor with them, and they do research on the myokinesthetic system, and we have peer-reviewed published articles on the myokinesthetic system and different things. So that's kind of good. Now, the Onsen Muscle Therapy website is more focused on promoting the training programs and highlighting the founder and the instructors. Ooh, okay. So they don't get into some of the stuff that we do. Okay. Claims of effectiveness. So both systems claim to be effective for pain relief MYK makes specific and quantifiable claims. Yes, we do, because everything we have, we can back up in the anatomy and the physiology books, and also now with peer-reviewed research. So, the target audience. So we teach about 5 different professions. They're in the notes below. And I'm not sure. I'm assuming that this Onsen Techniques is for massage therapists because he's a massage therapist. But I don't know. Maybe he teaches other techniques as well. I'm not sure. So if you know, put it in the comments below. So the MYK system, we emphasize and we focus on fast results. So 15 minutes or less for any treatment that we do. And we're going in and treating the nervous system specifically. OMT focuses more on its mission and instructor certification. And the mission is eliminating pain. So I get that part of it, but then they also focus on just getting people certified. Okay. So to get the actual effectiveness and validity of the Onsen approach, they need more things like what the myokinesthetic system has, which is published articles and testimonials from practitioners and things like that. So, all right, so that is the Onsen technique. It sounds like, because he's saying that he's moving bones, it sounds like there's some other stuff there. I would love to have an interview with this guy and find out more about this. It sounds interesting. I like the elimination of pain part. You know, that's a cool thing. But some of it, I'm like, I wonder if that stays within the scope of just a massage therapist, or if it goes outside the scope of massage therapy, and so he's teaching other professions. I'm not sure. And but I would love to know more. So if anybody has any information on the Onsen techniques, or Rich, send it my way. I would be very, very curious to learn more about this. Hey, if you made it this far, smile.